everybody and welcome back. Right, apparently we need to leave now. A second EU referendum won't change the result, an express.co.uk poll says. So let's just dive into this and have a look, shall we? Britain holding a second EU referendum would make no difference whatsoever, according to express.co.uk readers in a new poll, who are demanding the country respect the result of the first vote and leave the European Union immediately. Hear, hear. Now this is being said by the Express, now that's wild. Remainers are desperately calling for a second referendum as the clock ticks down to the proposed Brexit date of October 31st. They're making a last-ditch attempt to break the long-running Brexit impasse, despite Britain voting 52% to 48% to leave in the European Union in 2016, in June. Political sociologist Paula Sundridge has revealed to this website how recent figures showed 90% of voters would vote the same as they did more than 3 years ago. Well, isn't that an interesting little result? But we all knew that's what it was going to be anyway. Her claims have been backed by the latest express.co.uk poll, suggesting readers are getting fed up with the Brexit crisis and want Britain out of the European Union now. The poll, which ran from 6:40 p.m. on September the 28th until 3:10 p.m. on September the 29th, asked would a second EU referendum change the result. A huge 32,964 readers took part, with nearly three-quarters, 72.2%, or 25,000, okay, a few readers convinced a second EU referendum would not change the result. I think they've put a wrong decimal point. I think they've put that in the wrong place, to be quite honest. With just over a fifth, at 21.5%, to 7,101 readers believe the result would be different, while just 2.3%, 756 readers, selected the didn't know option. Leader said, "We need to leave now. The EU is an oligarch-run union. It is undemocratic, it is designed for the rich elite to control all of us, and we have been given a chance to stop. But our establishment has bought into it for 40 years, I think they meant to say, and they have hamstrung our exit." Another reader claimed a second referendum would be invalid because the result of the first vote has not been carried out yet, should I say. Wojo. They raged that if a second referendum was to give the go-ahead, the British people should take the decision to the High Court because it would be a stitch-up, as Leave wouldn't be allowed to win. A reader said a second EU referendum would simply be not valid due to the fact that the EU referendum result is being ignored by the Remain losers and is not being carried out by Parliament. It would actually further divide Great Britain and cause civil unrest. I would agree with that, actually. A second referendum would be a stitch-up. Either it would not be just Leave or Remain, or they would be tinkering with the result. There's no way Leave would be allowed to win. Again, I agree with that. If they force a second referendum, we should take it to the High Court because they haven't delivered the first one yet. One reader actually believes the result would be the same as in 2016, with an even greater margin between Leave and Remain. They said, "I think Leave would win something like 56% to 44%. A lot of Remain voters respected democracy and the referendum result." Another reader questioned whether, based on Brexit crisis that had swept through the country since June 2016, whether the British public could even trust another referendum. They commented, "As a Leaver, I would not trust any future referendum on the subject of Brexit to be conducted in a fair and democratic way. We've learnt over the last 3 years our MPs cannot be trusted." Jo Swinton, the newly elected leader of the Lib Dems, has openly stated that if there was a second referendum and Leave won, then she would ignore that outcome, so what's the point? "We settled this in 2016. We don't rerun general elections just because the losing side do not like the outcome." Well, of course, that is how it's supposed to be, but then again, this is what the undemocratic politics of Britain is. One reader added, "The only people they will have to blame will be themselves. Remember, Britons never shall ever be slaves, especially to an unelected group of foreign bureaucrats, or indeed unelected groups seizing control of our great country." And that was the results there, as you can see. Yes. Political sociologist Paula Sundridge has told the express.co.uk there hasn't been a huge change of opinion on Brexit, as people are likely to vote the same way in another referendum. Most people haven't changed their minds on Brexit. When we poll people, it's over 90% on each side who just give the same response that they gave in 2016. Her comments came after Nigel Farage said he was confident Leave would win by an even larger margin if a second referendum was called. Nigel himself there. Speaking at his party conference in London on Friday night, he said if we did have a second referendum, and provided we were given a proper question with a genuine Leave on the ballot paper, I have absolutely no doubt we would vote to Leave by a bigger margin than we did back in 2016. To Cheers, he added, but whatever happens, there will not be violent riots on our streets because we have got a well-run, sensible, moderate democratic party called the Brexit Party. People won't riot, they'll come and join the Brexit Party, and we'll do this democratically and peacefully. Very nice, Nigel. There's only one slight problem, mate. I don't trust you, but still. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, that would be this as far as I can see. What do you think of the Jo Swinton basically saying that she would ignore any results of a referendum that said Leave again just because she doesn't agree with that? What do you think about the Remain voters now wanting to leave? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.